Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's July 14th, 2016. In France, it's Bastille Day, their Independence Day, the equivalent of the 4th of July in the United States of America, and it's being reported that there is a terror attack. I got a text from a friend letting me know. When I checked my phone, the initial reporting was 30 dead. Then within minutes, it jumped to 60 dead. And then shortly after that, 73 dead, which is the last reporting. The Telegraph just jumped the number to 77. We'll see if other people follow. But let me show you what's really going on here. This is another drill being performed by the government of France, by their police department, and reported as a real tragedy for the ongoing agenda of needless war, needless division. It is the Freemasons who control nations such as France, the United States of America, and the Freemasons believe in order out of chaos. That's why they create these chaotic events to pass new laws, to create the mindset within the culture that they want, such as there's a radical Islamic threat out there about to get you. And in addition to order out of chaos, it is divide and conquer. And all of these stories pit people against each other based on religion, mostly Christianity versus Islam. So we're going to go through this. We're going to talk about the other recent terror attacks in France, Belgium, the United States of America. This also reminds me of the story from the winter solstice out of Las Vegas, where the woman ran a vehicle into a crowd, killing and injuring people just outside the Paris hotel. This story comes out of Nice, France. It's directly coordinated with the Friday the 13th Paris attack, which was another similar type of incident. The police, the government conspiring to create a tragedy scene for the sake of propaganda, for the sake of agenda. So when they did the reporting of 30 dead, then 60 dead, then 73 dead, I just added those numbers together to see if there would be anything significant. 30 plus 60 plus 73 is 163, which is the 38th prime number. This comes on Bastille Day, which has gematria of 38. If you're new here, gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. It is an esoteric practice. It is used by Kabbalists, which is mysticism within the Jewish faith, and it's also used by elites in Freemasonry. World news is coordinated through this language because it is the Zionist Jews, the Kabbalists, the Masons running the media, running the governments, running the show. In France, you can't speak against Zionism or the Jews. They've made it illegal and a prison sentence. In other words, you can't speak truth there about who the greatest oppressors are. With regards to these numbers, 163 and 38, they're showing up big in U.S. media right now in tragedies. The president's name right now, Barack Hussein Obama, who ran on hope and change. Barack Hussein Obama equals 163. The word change equals 38. 38 is also a number connected to death. Death equals 38. A number often found around tragedy. President and Bastille Day also have the same gematria. France and the United States, two nations connected at the hip in history, the American Revolution, then the French Revolution, which Bastille Day is connected to. Talk more about the history of the U.S. presidency and the American and French Revolution at the end of this video. But remember, all of these stories, they are coded, and what's within the code foreshadows the next tragedy to come, or a tragedy scripted later down the road. These Masons, they have an agenda planned out. It seems that they have planned decades in advance, and they are executing this propaganda based on the numerological scripting of how all of this has been planned out. Just now in Minnesota, days ago, there was the shooting of a black man by police, a needless killing, another propaganda story. It came out of Minnesota. Minnesota has gematria of 38 and 110 like Bastille Day. They said the victim was Philando Castile. Castile kind of reminds me of Bastille. Philando Castile was killed 163 days before the governor's birthday, and his initials PC, P's the 16th letter, C's the 3rd, PC, 163. On the front page of the BBC, they have this shot with this news van here, PC. I don't think it's any coincidence. These numbers are getting coded. These numbers have significance. That's what goes on in all of these news media propaganda stories. So with regards to them saying 73 are killed, the word pulse equals 73, the word united equals 73. We just had this pulse killing in the United States blamed on ISIS. This attack might very well be blamed on ISIS. What other word equals 73 is truck. Truck equals 73, and they're saying this truck is responsible for the killing of 73. Some sources are now saying 77, but they've been reporting 73 for a while. Again, all of these stories, the details are coordinated with the numbers. This headline, truck rams crowd, at least 73 dead, and nice gematria of 126. We just had the June 12th shooting in Orlando, 12/6. It came 126 days after the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl foreshadowed destruction through the white horse symbolism. We showed how the Invictus games, which are based on the white horse Invicta, were connected to the Super Bowl as well as the Orlando shooting. This is what I mean when I say all this stuff is coordinated. The 333 in the headline is also very interesting. So with regards to the city where it happened, it has gematria 51, just like the word conspiracy. And with regards to this happening on the Independence Day connected to the French Revolution, remember words such as Freemason and Zionism have gematria 51? The Bavarian Illuminati, which is credited with the French Revolution, began on the date May 1st, 1776, just months before the American Revolution began. May 1st, 5/1 as we write in the United States, a lot like the location, a lot like the word conspiracy. The man credited with starting the Bavarian Illuminati is Adam Weishaupt, gematria of 51. Started it on 5/1, Freemason 51, conspiracy 51, Zionism 51. It is the Freemasons and the Zionist Jews who are often referred to as the Illuminati. They control our media, they control our governments, they control the entertainment in the world we're in. If you haven't seen how they script sports, check out my videos on the world of sports. They are often synced up, coded with the same numbers, just like I brought up the Super Bowl, which came 126 days before the June 12th shooting in Orlando. So Bastille Day in gematria, very interesting, sums to 38 like death with the S exception, also 47 just like France. In Freemasonry, Euclid's 47th problem is about establishing foundation. All of these stories are building the foundation for a much greater event to come. Probably the one that will start World War III, which has been foretold for a very long time, going back to the Civil War. Adam Pike, the Freemason, wrote about the World War I, World War II, and World War III, predicted what they would be. He said World War III would be between Christianity and Islam. He wrote that letter 43 years before the start of World War I. He was a Civil War general. Civil War equals 43. This attack today comes on the 43rd parallel. The gematria, as we talked about, is also 110. Bastille in gematria sums to 80, just like tragedy, just like French National Day, which it's also known as. In the United States, Independence Day equals 74. We celebrate it on 7/4. Holiday equals 74. Masonic 74. Jewish 74. The reflection of 47. The Battle of Bastille, July 14th, 1789, that's 227 years ago this year. And 227 is a number I talk about like a broken record. This is one of their most important numbers that they work around. It's a number connected to pi and cycles and circles. They say the victors write history, Victor, Freemason, history, all matching in gematria. These people recreate history by the numbers. 227 is a special number. If you type 22 divided by 7 in a calculator, you'll get 3.14. If you type 22 divided by 7 in simple English gematria, you'll get 314, a lot like 3.14, the number for pi, having to do with cycles and circles that you learned about in your mathematics geometry class. There's a reason this is happening this year. 227 years later, and this is it. This number routinely coded into tragedy on September 11th. The total time of the terror attack from the first hijacking to when the end of Building 2 falling to the ground was supposedly 2 hours and 27 minutes. That's also 147 minutes. Today is 14/7, 14th day of July. Master builder equals 147, a very special term in the study of numbers, numerology. So this attack, it comes 10 days after Independence Day in the United States. France and the United States of America, both Masonic nations, both red, white, and blue flags, both a lot of Freemason history. From America's Independence Day to today is 10 days. And sometimes throughout history, this pattern of 10 days later shows up. If you write out 10 days later, it sums to 144. The phrase mark of the beast has gematria of 144. 144 in regards to pi, if you add the first 144 decimal points of pi, it sums to 666. Mark of the beast, a shorthand for referencing the number 666. The word prophecy equals 666. These numbers all have to do with time and our place in it. The word time in Jewish gematria also sums to 144. Each day there's 1440 minutes, 1440. Think about how there's 12 months in a year. The square root of 144 is 12. 12 hours in the morning, 12 hours in the evening. Time in simple English gematria also sums to 47, just like beast, just like France. And think about mark of the beast. What is the real beast in this world? Is it not time? Is time not the reason that so many of us are enslaved? You know, we have to spend the majority of our days working to pay the bills, to feed ourselves, to clothe ourselves, to house ourselves. For a lot of us, we're not left with any more time to do anything else, and we feel trapped. You know, I used to be in that exact same situation. I had to work my way out of that so I could dedicate my time to this research. Because that's all I've really wanted to do with my life, is free us from this beast system we live under. So anyway, just trying to give significance to these numbers, what it's all about, why we're getting this coordinated attack in France, why France is even the name in the first place. All very special numbers. Think about how France protects the Zionists more so than any other country in the world. 47, a very special number to them. Their nation recognized with a 33-member vote on the 333rd day of the year in the year 47. The full name for the man that the Eiffel Tower is named after, Gustav. His full name, gematria of 96, like Freemason. The word radio has gematria of 47. It's a radio tower, the iconic monument in France. Radio 47, France 47. A lot of things on the radio have 47 gematria, pop, rock. Both equal 47. So check this out. I just got done making a video today talking about 555. I was talking about how from September 11th to the invasion of Iraq, March 20th, 2003 was 555 days. From the Charlie Hebdo attack to today is 555 days. 5 represents creation. These people are forging their new world order, making the world the way they want it. With each passing day, the new world order is a Zionist Jew world order. This attack, very much in line with their agenda, their mission, by the numbers. From Charlie Hebdo, again to the November 13th attack, a date that's written 13/11 was 311 days. Think about the 311 sequence in the date. The beast in Jewish gematria equals 311. USA breaks down to 311. UK breaks down to 311. Another special number to the gang. Another Freemason signature from Charlie Hebdo to the Paris Friday the 13th attack. 311 days. And if you haven't seen all my work on the Paris attack, I put out probably 10 videos. There's a ton of information. There was so much more 311 coding. But that's just the tip of it. Charlie Hebdo in Paris also have that gematria of 63. 63 is a really special number this year, 2016. If you count every number up to 63, it sums to 2016, and perhaps that's what they were foreshadowing. You know, this big event in the year 2016 on their National Independence Day. From the Friday the 13th attack to the Belgium attack on March 22nd, which is something I said to look out for, I showed the coordination between November 13th and March 22nd at the time of making those videos. March 22nd ended up being the Belgium attack. Belgium equals 33. France is the home of the plus 33 international dialing code. Has a flag divided into 3 parts equally, 33.3%, red, white, and blue. Anyway, in the November 13th attack, they said 130 people were killed in the end. And then March 22nd, 130 days later, another attack. The name of the airport had gematria of 130 where the attack happened on March 22nd. Washington in gematria equals 130. You know, eventually something bad is going to come back to Washington, D.C. A lot of people think tomorrow will be the day. They're having a big Christian gathering. Christian equals 47. Just put out a video on the Christian gathering in case anything happens tomorrow. But perhaps this is what it's all foreshadowing. We'll see. We'll know soon enough. With regards to the 4 months and 9 days, Washington, the small way is 49, the big way 130. Named after George Washington, the first president during the time of the French Revolution breaking out. March 22nd, the date of the attack is most commonly written 22/3, Masonic equals 223. It was the first terror attack in Belgium in 223 weeks. If you haven't seen my video on the last terror attack, it's all coded with 33, just like Belgium. The Synagogue of Satan equals 223. That's the name given to the Zionists in Revelation, the book of the Bible. On March 22nd, the metro station was bombed, Melbeek Metro Station, 223. The Friday the 13th attack, Friday the 13th equals 223. In France, King Philip burned the Knights Templar at the stake, who were the Freemasons of their time, on Friday the 13th, where the original Friday the 13th superstition comes from. The date of the Paris attack was a date with 59 numerology. Kill equals 59 in Jewish gematria. So does the name Jason. Jason, Friday the 13th. From the March 22nd attack until today, July 14th, is 114 days, or 3 months and 22 days, 322. From the March 22nd attack, written 322 in the United States. So the BBC 223, they report it was a lorry. They're calling it a lorry over there. Over here in the United States, you know, they treat us like we're even dumber. They call it a big white truck. The long white truck. Over there, they have a word for it, a lorry. But what's interesting about lorry is, let's start here. Lorry, the big way, equals 88. Just like French Revolution, just like George Washington, the president at the time. You know, the American Revolution president. French Revolution kicked off right after. Seems to be a coding in this for our president. You know, can you imagine what will happen in this nation where they're trying to build the race war if the first black president is assassinated? Lori the small way also sums to 34. Murder equals 34. 139 is the 34th prime. Freemasonry equals 139. And the storming of Bastille, the events began on May 19th, which is the 139th day of the year. See how all of this stuff connects? This is how they always do it. The stories are coded out, tributes to history, tributes to what's to come. Every time. That's how I'm able to make these videos, every time. If it wasn't this way, I wouldn't be able to make the videos talking about the same numbers again and again. When that incident happened in Las Vegas at the time of the winter solstice, December 20th, 15, that was a date with 47 numerology. Also a date with 67 numerology, and Freemasonry equals 67. But 47 really stuck out because it happened in Nevada in front of the Paris Hotel, and it was right after the Paris terror attack hoax by the numbers. France 47, Nevada 47 on a date with 47 numerology. That event was also a tribute to the past. The same thing had happened in Reno on Thanksgiving Day many years earlier. If you haven't seen my work on this Paris hotel car crash incident from December 20th, please check it out. You know, I said then, watch for a future event possibly related. Here we go. A big truck crashing into a crowd of people on Bastille Day. So the coordinates of the town, the 43rd parallel, the 7th meridian east, in numerology, 43, 4 plus 3 becomes 7, E, or E, 7th meridian already 7, 43, 7, 7, 7, 7. You know, they love this 77 number. Here in the United States on 7-7, they had the police department killing. Police department equals 77. Police officer equals 77. Judaism equals 77. It's the Zionist Jews. Here's what else I want to watch. This CNN coverage. You know, they got Wolf Blitzer on, the Zionists. Listen to what this woman says about how she's baffled by how this even happened with the truck. Notice they cut off the interview right as she makes her point. They make this video a minute 18. Remember, the word death equals 118 in Jewish gematria. Check this out. Listen to the interview.
We have on the phone an eyewitness who's joining us now from Nice. Zainab Bakar is joining us. Zainab, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where you were and what you saw.
Well, I was at home and I'm just sitting where it happened exactly, right in front of where I live. First I heard, it was right after the fireworks were over. I went outside on the balcony to watch the fireworks, and I went in because the music, they had set a live set right across the street. The music was very loud. Then
I'm just going to pause real quick. I want to point something out. 30 dead, 100 injured. What they started with in numerology breaks down to 3 and 1, a lot like 31. Nice in gematria sums to 31, spelled just like how we spell the word nice. The word mean has gematria of 33. The ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry are 31, 32, 33. Add those together, they sum to 96, just like the word Freemason. Just want to make that point. Now back to what she's saying. At the very end, she's going to close out with her confusion about how the truck even did this.
I heard the crash and people shouting. When I went to the balcony, there were so many people on the ground, and then some gunfiring was started. So I had to go in and switch off the lights because I didn't know what was going on. Oh, the corpses are still, the people are still on the streets. I don't know. I don't understand how he went through because the road was blocked.
And then it just cuts off. I don't understand how he went through because the road was blocked. You know, CNN could have completely cut that out of their clip if they want, but they didn't, probably on purpose. In these stories, they like to mock us with nonsensical details. Here she is saying the road's blocked. How could it have possibly gotten through? And the reason it got through is because it's all staged. And who it's likely put on by is the French police. The police worldwide are controlled by the Freemasons. Police in Jewish gematria equals 147. Today's date is 14/7. For a while, they were reporting 60 killed, another number connecting to police. Let's see what CNN's got for the death toll now. Okay, CNN's updated to 77 too. But we see why they go through these number sequences. There's a rhyme, there's a reason to how the numbers are reported. They always change as these stories go on. The number will probably end up being something else by the end of the day, you know? When they release the name of the shooter, or, you know, the truck driver this time, I'll probably do a follow-up video. I'm sure the details will be coded with the exact numbers we've already talked about. Till next time, Truth Seeker.